What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Defend Your Units. I am your host, Johnny K. Picks, and alongside me is Dr. Sarowitz, and we are going to break down all the fights for UFC Kansas City. How's it going, man? And are you looking forward to this card?
Hanging in there, yeah, man. There's a couple bangers on this card, especially the main part of the card. Couple of snoozers on the other card, but we'll
Yeah,
we'll
I mean,
those,
I guess we just can't have good fights all 14, but
getting spoiled.
This is a really good card for a fight night. I wish I would go to this one.
Yeah, for sure. Especially the main event should be a good one.
Yeah. Real quick though, how'd you do last card? And then we'll just get right into it. We got 14 fights. So
I was saying before, I had one of my best cards and one of my worst simultaneously, even though that seems mathematically impossible. I had some really good ones that I gave out to a couple of my followers. The Chase Hooper by decision. It was a sweat, but in hindsight, that was a really good play. You know, Jim Miller's like impossible to finish. That was good. I think I can go on record as possibly the only person that took Dominic Reyes by KO. I believe
I took Dominic Reyes in a fun bet though. Just money line.
Yeah, that still counts. That's great, man. No, I think I had one person tail me on that. That was a plus 600. Volkanovski by decision. That was another good one. And I also had possibly the worst pick in a really long time, which was Chandler by decision. And that was like the fastest I've ever seen like dead money in a fight. Like I think it was like halfway through the first round. I'm like, that is a wrap. And you know, hindsight, probably not the best move. But leading up to the fight, I was feeling really good about it. Just Patty really outperformed in that one. So what are you gonna do? On to the next one, you know?
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah, like we were kind of talking a little bit before, but like Chandler's just one of those guys for me where it's like I can't trust him. I can't trust him to even pick him because he just wants to put on a show. He doesn't really care if he wins or loses. He'll be winning a fight and then he's like, I gotta make it exciting. And then he'll just do something stupid and then he'll lose. And you're like, you had the fight in your hands and then you just literally gave it up.
Yeah, this was a weird one too, because he was like never in the fight. There was about 8 seconds maybe, when he tried to take the back and then he got reversed. And that's when it was like, it's done.
I was gonna say maybe early in the first round when he got some wrestling going and got Patty down. But other than that, like I just knew after the first round for sure, I was like, this dude's not gonna win. Like there's just no way.
Yeah, that
he kept getting rocked on the feet. He couldn't really touch Patty on the feet. Then he couldn't wrestle him. And I'm like, of course you can't wrestle him. He's a way better grappler than you. He shouldn't. And he's big. So it's like,
yeah, that ended up being the one that hurt me the most. I think I showed you. I think it was 86-1 parlay. It was Hooper decision, your decision, Volkanovski decision, Michael mother effing Chandler decision. And I watched it turn to dust. It was almost the biggest win I've ever had. And I was just like, okay. But you know, you don't throw out the playbook. It's just a small adjustment, you know, just gotta
exactly. And you just know now moving forward, if Michael Chandler ever fights again, you know, just don't pick him.
Oh yeah, no, Chandler's dead to me. Yeah.
But yeah, I had a pretty good night too. I think for my track bets, I hit over like 6 units. I hit the easy money parlay from last week, and we also hit a beer money parlay again. That's 2 weeks in a row for both of them, and I think we're on the third. This will be the 4th week if we hit it for the easy money. So we're on a roll with the show bets. So that's how we do it, and we're gonna keep it going, guys. So we'll go through the chat real quick, and then we will get right into these fights. But we got Derek in here saying, "What's up?" He's up 10 units from the easy money and beer money parlays. Let's fucking go. Let's do it. See, you gotta follow these bets. Sometimes, I mean, let's be honest, we're not gonna hit them all the time, but we've been on a roll. So you want to follow the train until we start losing. Got Dixon Cider. What's up, Dixon? Johnny, you got me. I thought you invited Dr. It's a family doctor from Tommy Pickles. That's funny. What's up, Effie? Chandler needs more HGH. He will get him next time. Okay, yeah. He definitely takes it. So who are the Bears drafting? It's tomorrow night. Who are they drafting? Man, there's 2 people in mind that I want them to, and or I think they will. I think they are going to draft Tyler Warren, the tight end out of Penn State. And if for whatever reason they decide to trade away and not draft him, I'm going to be pissed. which I had this weird feeling now that I think they might trade down, but it's either Tyler Warren at 10 or if Mason Graham falls, I think they'll draft him. But that's just me. I don't think he will fall though. I think it's gonna be Tyler Warren. Jeremy says we are back. We are back. It's tomorrow. Draft is tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow night. Damien, what's up, Damien? Cowboys may disappoint me if we don't draft Genty. Genty's not going to fall to them, unfortunately. I think they will be drafting that wide receiver out of Arizona, McMillan or something like that. McClain, it's Mick something. I think they're going to draft a wide receiver, but Genty's not going to go past number 6 for sure. So unfortunately, I want the Bears to draft him too. So. Before we get in the UFC, Johnny, you excited? Yes, I am. As you can see, I can talk about the draft like for a whole UFC. Bears, and if the Bears don't get Tyler Warren at 10, someone else will, and our bet will still hit. So it's okay. Don't worry about it. But let's go to the first fight. First fight of the night will be Chelsea Chandler versus Jose Lynn Edwards. Who do you like in this one, if you like anybody?
I gotta tell you, I don't like anybody. No.
Well, fair enough.
I will say stylistically, like on paper, initially, I was kind of leaning a little bit toward Chelsea Chandler. She's never been finished. She's somewhat more well-rounded. And if she can get some grappling going, I tend to favor the grappler in these closer matchups, but it's just too hard to go against Jocelyn Edwards. So this is normally the kind of fight I'm looking at things like the over, but even that you're at minus 475 right now, so that you probably don't want to do. But I will say this is the perfect kind of fight that I like to bet live, because somebody's getting their way. If Jocelyn starts stuffing takedowns right away, you can be pretty confident that that's how that fight is going to continue to go. And on the flip side, if Chandler gets the first round, I would possibly even be looking for her to start to gas a little bit, and then maybe you can get some plus money on Edwards live. But I'm probably not putting anything in before the fight starts. I'm probably going to see how that first round goes and then consider what I want to do with it.
Right on. I think I'm a little more confident in Edwards. I probably shouldn't be, but I just cannot back Chelsea Chandler at all. If anyone remembers me and Cody going back and forth with Chelsea Chandler, I'm just not a Chelsea Chandler fan. And I don't think she's only had 9 fights professionally. Not to say that she looks awful, but I don't think she looks great in any of them. Not even in her wins. Like her win is Josiane Nunes, and she was towering over her, and she was just bullying her, and she was able to get her down because she was twice the size, but Edwards is just as big and tall and strong as well. So I like Edwards' takedown defense. I think it has improved. We've seen Edwards fight over 5 times in the UFC. I think she has got better experience. I think she's the way better striker, and if she can keep it on the feet, I think she wins all day. I love the over. I know it's juiced at like minus 500, but I think it's free. I don't think there's going to be a finish in this fight at all, but I do like Edwards to win at least 2 rounds. So Edwards by decision is my pick. I like her as a parlay piece as well. I'm just, like I said, just not a fan of Chandler. I mean, she can bully fighters, but like if she's not going to be the bigger fighter, she's not a good striker, and that's just how I see it. And she's durable though. So and she's fast. She ran like a 4.3 in the octagon. So we're talking about the draft. So
there we go. Yeah, I tend to agree. If anything, I'm probably leaning toward Edwards. I might just want to see how that first round goes, but I'm probably not doing too much with this fight, to be honest.
Yeah. Let's see. Dixon said first fight of the night, easy ends in split. Definitely could. Can't trust women with your money. I mean, that can go a lot of ways for sure. Jose Lynn is decision master. I understand the odds here, but could be a revamped show up maybe, but I got to see it first. You know what I mean? Like I know what I'm going to get out of Edwards, and I kind of already know what I'm going to get out of Chandler, but unless she shows me wrong or proves me wrong. Edwards got some thunder thighs. I wonder how much she can deadlift. I think she could deadlift a lot. That's why I said I think she can keep her balance, especially up against the cage. She has pretty good takedown defense. It's just when it's in the open mat, she kind of can get taken down rather easily, but she does have a good get-up game too. So one of those. But Bloomdog, what's up, fellas? Let's win some bets. And this card should be violent with some boisterous crowd. Yeah, it should be fun for sure. All right, next one's gonna be Timothy Kuamba. I always say Timothy. It's Timmy. Timmy Kuamba versus Roberto
Timmy.
Romero. Timmy. Yeah, this is an interesting fight. I'm gonna lean. I'm not very confident. I'm leaning Romero only because I do like his grappling in this fight and wrestling too. I mean, the striking, I would lean Timmy. I think he's got the little bit better striking. He's got pretty good power too. His takedown defense is okay too. It's not great, but it's not terrible. But I really liked what I saw from Romero in his last fight. I think he fought, what was it, Onama, if I'm not mistaken, on short notice. He looked pretty good. I know he lost, but and then Timmy really hasn't impressed me in his two UFC losses. Actually, he lost to Lucas Almeida, and then Oki. So I know those are pretty decent guys too, but this is more probably his level. But I usually go the striker too, which is weird, but I'm just going to go Romero. I don't really have a great reason, just more of a gut feeling. I just like his wrestling. I think he can get it going, but I'm not touching this fight whatsoever. What do you think?
It's funny. I typically lean toward the grappler in those.
I know, but I'm like the weird. I'm the only one that I ever heard. Like whoever leans a striker, no, it's only me. It's weird.
Well, yeah, there's more to it, but yeah, I'm kind of leaning like Romero by decision. Also, yeah. I think he may actually outperform in this one because, like you said, his last one was short notice and he still looked pretty good. So a lot of times in situations like that, the odds makers get it wrong because they're basing it off of the last fight.
Yeah.
So I straight to win it -142 sounds like a steal, and it's not posted on DraftKings yet, but it'll probably be plus money by decision. That's actually not the worst play.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at that too. But yeah, just money lines. Romero is -125, so
oh yeah,
really not that bad.
It's moved a little bit. I think it's like -140-ish right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, DraftKings has it at -125 at the moment, but it can move like that.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of lines this week that I saw on book, and then like it's completely different on the other, like -1 for one person, and then on the other book it's like I'm like, what?
Yeah,
so the lines are just up and down real quick.
Yeah.
Effie said this is a close fight. I think so too. Johnny, have you seen the recent pics of Ozempic Chandler floating online? Apparently she's skinny now. Oh, I thought you were talking about Michael Chandler, but I did see that she looked like she thinned out a bit. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So, sick shirt, Johnny. How do I get one? This is a limited edition. I think there's only like maybe 4 in the world.
Funny you should ask, yeah.
One of these days there might be one, because I mean Cody was on this side right here, so we'll see what happens. Maybe Cody comes back, we'll give these out. But
there you go.
Yeah, I think there's only 4 right now, so maybe in the future we'll get these going out. Also, fun fact: Johnny Romero translated from Spanish is Rosemary. So technically his name is in English is Robert Rosemary. I like it. What's up, Kiwi Brew? Sure, man. Appreciate you coming out, hanging out with us. Next fight, we got Jacqueline Amorim versus Polyana Viana. Who do you like?
Ooh, I'm actually kind of looking forward to this fight. Definitely got to give an edge to Jacqueline and her submission game. Polyana's been kind of up and down. She's been finished in her last 2 fights. And quite a few of her fights have ended in the first round. So I have a big note on my paper that says, don't overthink it. So definitely leaning Amorim first round sub. There is potential for like some ground and pound, and that would be pretty upsetting if that's how she gets the finish, but definitely leaning finish, definitely leaning sub. This is another one that's not on DraftKings yet, at least by me, but I'm curious to see what that first round sub line looks like.
Yeah.
It might not even be even money, but that's, I feel like, the way to go in this one. Otherwise, there's really not a whole lot of value. Even if you're taking her like -3.5, I mean, it'll get it down to -500 maybe or something, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I'm probably looking for a finish in this one.
So I'm looking on fight odds and this is Bet Online. Amorim wins in round 1 is plus 105, and wins in round 1 by submissions plus 130.
Oh,
So
that's actually not bad. That's better than I was expecting, actually.
yeah,
Because then it gives you some protection for the ground and pound too.
true.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to happen in round 1 if you're going to bet this one. Anything else, there's really no value. If you have this as like, part of a parlay or something like that, it might make sense to hedge this one a little bit just because what is it now? Minus 800 on her streak to
Yeah,
win.
DraftKings is minus 850, but I mean it's around there everywhere, like minus 800, minus 750.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's getting
it's
a little
high. I mean,
crazy.
earlier in
Yeah.
the week it was like minus 400, but it like doubled. So
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So, I mean, it won't even juice up a parlay that much. So, I think I'm probably taking the finish in this one. Give me a Morum by sub.
yeah. Yeah, I'm on the same page. I'm on Jacqueline as well. I just think she's the better grappler. I think she's going to be stronger. I think she's better when she's on top. And Pollyanna doesn't mind playing off her back. And I think that's going to play, not be a good thing for her. Striking, though, like, honestly, maybe Pollyanna has a little bit better striking, but she doesn't really have that, like, KO power that she's going to, like, knock her out or anything. But I just think a Morum, and you can just tell if you put them side by side, she's going to be bigger, as in like stronger, and she's going to be able to get the takedowns. So I don't have any worry that she won't be able to take down Viana at all. So, and then she's very good when she's on top with submissions too. So, and like you said, maybe the ground and pound, if she gets in full mount and just starts raining down, bombs, the ref might just stop it. So, I know like everyone's on the sub, but like I could kind of see that. And I think that's how Jillian beat Pollyanna too. She just did the same thing. I think it was a ground and pound.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That would be like really upsetting if you had a big play on the sub and she got the ground and pound. So I kind of like if you can get plus money on the first round finish, I feel like that's pretty solid.
Yeah, I think it's only on Bet Online right now, but I mean, probably later tonight or early tomorrow, you can probably get it on most books. And if it's plus money and you like it, that's a good look. Let's see. We got Paku in here. What's up, Paku? Sure, man. Appreciate you coming out. Paul, appreciate you coming out as well. What's up, man? And yeah, let's go to the next fight. We got Cameron Saman versus Malcolm Wellmaker. Another fun fight, interesting. I can see it from both sides. I think Saman might be the more well-rounded fighter. He's got good striking, good grappling. His wrestling is okay. The thing that I just don't like with him, though, is his striking defense, and he leaves himself open to counters all the time. And I'm not just talking about the Peyton Talbot fight. I'm talking about any of the fights. If you go back and watch, he gets hit a lot, and that worries me. I'm not saying Wellmaker is the new Peyton Talbot of striking, but Wellmaker does have very good striking. He's got power in his hands. He does stay at range very well. He can strike off his back foot. He has good counters, which that's what scares me about this fight. And he's got very good takedown defense. So I think Wellmaker's like strengths play like very well into this fight against Saman. And I'm going to go with Wellmaker. I know it's pretty close. It's probably like, minus 120 or maybe even a pick 'em for Wellmaker, but I think he gets it done. I don't think it's going to be by KO, but it wouldn't shock me actually, because I'm just not sold on Saman's striking defense yet. Now, if Cameron comes in here looking good with his striking defense, maybe get some grappling going, this could be a good live betting spot. Just hit it right away. But if he can't get the takedowns early in this fight, I think Wellmaker probably wins decision, but I could see a KO too. What do you think?
Yeah, I have a little bit of a different take on this one. I mean, I liked Cameron when he was coming up in the UFC and he's, coming off 2 losses, but I think it's just some unlucky matchmaking. The Talbot fight, you can't fault him for that. And honestly, like the Christian Rodriguez loss, Rodriguez was looking good if you're not counting his last fight against what's his face, Costa.
He's just a prospect killer. That's
exactly right. So it's like, is that a good representation of Cameron's ability? And maybe yes, maybe no. But one of my big rules is I always fade debut fighters who are favored just on principle. This is not really like that because it's closer to a coin flip. But to have someone coming in making their debut against, someone who's been in the UFC a long time with a lot of experience, it's sometimes harder for me to kind of wrap my head around. And the other thing you have to consider too is like with Wellmaker, he's 8-0 right now. 5 of his opponents have had losing records, right?
Mhm.
And I think you could say his only real, like, legit opponent was on Contender Series, and he won, right? In dramatic fashion. So technically, math checks out. He should be ready to compete at this level. But I think more often than not, these guys get a little bit overhyped. So that's why, like, the way that I see it maybe playing out is, if you factor into those like UFC debut jitters, maybe a little bit of an adrenaline dump, if he doesn't get Cameron out of there early, you could see him fade really quickly. And we've never actually seen him like really deep in fights before. So I'm probably getting a little cheeky in this one and looking at Cameron for like something like a 3rd round finish or something like that. Or like you said, I like the idea of betting it live too, but I'm going to be keeping a really close eye on Wellmaker's gas tank.
Yeah.
That's really never been tested. If you start seeing him with his mouth open, his hands down, as soon as his hands come down, to me, that's the green light. Like he's starting to fade, and you gotta maybe make a play on it because it could be interesting. I could see it going the other way too. I could see him rocking Cameron early, getting him hurt, but not getting him out of there. And then he comes out for round 2, like huffing and puffing with his hands down. That would be very interesting to me. So when the lines come out, I might be looking at Cameron like something crazy, like a round 3 TKO for, plus 3,000.
Yeah. No, I like that look too. It definitely can happen.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look. Yeah, he got the KO against Stephen Kozlow in round 3 too. And then even on the Contender Series, he won in round 3 too. So he's got good cardio. I'm not questioning his cardio at all. I just question his striking defense, and I'm a little worried.
100%, and his durability too. And it's just like,
yes, I know he hasn't fought in about a year, but
yeah. And also, this is like the worst kind of opponent too, because all he's got is power. It's not one of those like pitter patter guys. I mean, he's trying to murder you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of worst case scenario for him too. But like, I'm a fan of his. Like I said, when he was coming up, I think it's just so much potential and just maybe some unlucky matchmaking. And this could be also some not so great matchmaking too. So if he doesn't win this one, maybe he fires his manager or something.
True. This is more of a level fight for him though. Well, I mean, Wellmaker's 30, but like I know same as like 24, 25. He's still young. But he needs to like slowly work up. He just can't I don't think he's that fighter where he can move up quick, and he just needs to like simmer and marinate a little bit, like fight these guys that are coming in, like instead of having these UFC Dana White Contender Series guys fight like 40-year-olds, like have them fight young guys like this, like that kind of like went through the same role as this like Wellmaker did. So
it's interesting.
It should be a fun fight.
Another thing, like I feel like I talk about every time I'm on here, is like I always think about it in the context of like who is most likely to outperform and who's most likely to underperform, right? And looking at this on paper, I mean, Wellmaker is, largely untested in the UFC, a ton of hype coming into this fight, so much so that he's favored going in. That's a pretty high bar to me. So I feel like if anybody is set up to underperform, it's probably on that side. Whereas, like you said, with Cameron, like he's young, he's supposed to be improving with every fight. And a lot of times, when you take a long layoff like this, it's not like you're sitting on the couch. You're adding skills to your game, especially like you said, he's only 24. That's crazy.
Yeah. I think he's 24 or 25. 24. Yeah. Yep. December he'll be 25.
Yeah. So you never know. Yeah, that's why like I feel like I'm kind of giving the edge to him just based on experience. And maybe sneaking a little late TKO in there.
Yeah, I like it. We got Bunny Hunter here. What's up, Bunny? Appreciate the $10 donation as always, my friend. What's up, guys? Hope everything is well. I'm liking Saman money line based on strength of schedule, and also leaning Ian Pussy Gary money line as well. Good luck. Hey, I don't mind any of those at all, actually. Pollyanna KO'd Amanda Hebas back in the day. Kind of wild. Yeah, that is wild. Yeah, sometimes my Wi-Fi like goes in and out. I don't know why, but then it'll be good for like forever. But like certain times it'll be like, nope, Nope. I don't know. It's weird. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, Maker, what's up? A world where this fight goes the distance? Yeah, I think it can. I think it can. I think the only finish, it would be late for Saman and early for Wellmaker, but I think probably more than half it the time this fight goes to decision. Malcolm is going to make a well and then knock Cameron down it where he will drown by KO. There we go. I like the little stories. And Jesse, what's up, Jesse? Da Bears indeed. Tomorrow is the night. Hopefully they pick the right guy, because if they don't pick Tyler Warren, if he's there, I'm going to be angry. I will say that, because you don't pass up guys like that. Even though you don't need a tight end, you don't pass up guys like that. Paku, appreciate the $5 donation. Shout out to my I'm going to say this wrong. Maori brother, JJ Wilson. Yeah, he looked really good in that fight. I liked what I saw for sure at PFL. Finally, a big Polynesian with a slick ground game. Hope he wins the tournament and joins the UFC. Yeah, that'd be great. I think he'd be really good in the UFC. But the next fight is going to be Damon Blackshear versus Alatang Haley. And who do you like in this one?
Yeah, I tell you, I really like Damon Blackshear. I was kind of back and forth on him after that Montel Jackson fight. But he bounced back pretty freaking strong. And there's a couple of guys that I've had the same question about. Grant Dawson comes to mind when he got finished. Even I think last time we were talking about Andre Petrosky, taking some bad TKOs, and it's just like,
or that freaky one off the hip.
Yeah. And it's like, well, how do you recover from something like that? Can you get back on your game? And, a lot of these guys actually look better after something like that. Aljo's another great example when he got knocked out by Marlon Moraes and then went on that tear. And sure enough, Blackshear looking like a stud, 2 first-round subs, getting back to his game. I love him in this fight. I love this matchup. I definitely see a finish happening. So I really like Blackshear by sub. I'm even considering the points handicap too, because I could see him dominating every round if it goes the distance. That might actually be a good addition to the sub play to kind of hedge it a little bit. But also, this is one of my pretty big hammers of the night. You're still getting plus money on the under 2.5. I think it's plus 130 right now. It gives you a little protection on the other side as well if you're worried about him taking another TKO. But I think this one could look easy. I think it could. I don't think the striking coming the other way is elite enough to be worrisome. I think as soon as they come together, the grappling exchanges start, and I think it's just a matter of time before he gets the finish. So love him by sub, love him by first round sub. Taking the points handicap -3.5 is a little bit more conservative. And I'll get those odds down because I think he's getting juiced up too. It's almost -500 right now. So that's harder for me to wrap my head around. But the real thing I'm hammering here is that under 2.5 for plus 30. I think that's one of the best plays in the night.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree with everything you said. I think Blackshear wins this one probably 8 out of 10 times. It'd have to be like a freak KO early, or just a very super close split decision that the judges are just awful, and then they give it to Alatang when Blackshear won. The biggest advantage Blackshear is going to have, obviously, is going to be on the mat. Alatang, if he shoots any takedowns, he's probably going to get subbed and reversed, and so he shouldn't be doing that. And also, the height and reach advantage of Blackshear is insane. Alatang used to be at flyweight, but now he's up to bantamweight. So it's a 5-inch height difference and about a 6-inch reach advantage. And usually when there's taller grapplers, like that's not good for the other guy because they have the extra long limbs. They can get under your easier and it's done. And I think this is a pretty easy Blackshear by sub or inside the distance or -3.5 or under 2.5, which I do love as well. I played that. I wish I would have waited just a little bit longer, but hey, I would have got a little better odds. But I'm cool with plus money. It's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that, like you said, it covers if Alatang gets a freak KO early, which we have seen Blackshear get touched up a little bit in some of his fights and even knocked out early too. So I like it a lot. Let's see. We got Izzy saying Black Shear gonna take it, his black shears and trim his Mongolian Knight and taking to a decision win. I hope not, but I got that under. So yeah, but I mean, if it does go to decision, I mean, I think he wins too. So it is what it is. I think Black Shear wins this one all day.
Yeah, that points handicap might be interesting if it gets the odds down a little bit.
Maybe like minus 200, minus 250 or so, splits it in half.
Something like that, yeah.
But yeah, it's tough to play. I hate playing the minus 3.5s, especially if like it's like minus 200. I'm like,
oh yeah.
I'm like, I'll just make a choice then. It's either going to be inside the distance or decision. I'll make a choice, and if I mess up, I mess up.
Yeah.
But I don't hate it. I think it's still a good play, especially if you can get down to minus 200 or so. Next fight though, Chris Gutierrez versus John Castaneda. I'll go ahead and start this one. You probably won't like me, but I do think this is a very, very close fight. And again,
never know, you might be surprised. Okay.
Oh, and again though, like I said, I usually lean the striker in a very close fight. And I'm going with John Castaneda. Like early on, like a couple months ago or whatever, they were supposed to fight. I picked John Castaneda. I don't really want to shy away from that. But I could see a world where Chris Gutierrez gets those leg kicks going early, and then Castaneda can't really stand up and wrestle anymore. So that to me, it's Gutierrez's leg kicks versus Castaneda's wrestling. If Castaneda gets closer to him, he's going to be able to take down Chris. He doesn't have great takedown defense. He does have a pretty good get-up game, good submission defense, but he gets taken down very easily, and against really good grapplers and or wrestlers, he can be basically controlled on the mat for the whole round. But yeah, I just don't know if Castaneda will. He's going to have to eat a couple leg kicks probably, but hopefully nothing crazy happens. But it just that's to me, that's the fight. Leg kicks versus wrestling. I'm just going to go with the wrestling. I'm not very confident, but I do like John Castaneda at the plus money spot though, but probably stay away. The only thing I probably would play is the overs. I love the overs in this one. I think the overs are a great parlay piece, but what do you think?
Yeah, that over's getting up there too. I think it's minus 375 or something like that.
Yeah, it's getting up there. But if you need a parlay piece.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, I will say
it's minus 410 now. Minus 410.
It's getting worse. Get it in now, quick.
Yeah, get it in now.
Yeah, actually really like El Guapo, Chris Gutierrez. I'll say as a person, he's one of my guys. He's a friend of mine. Fun fact for those who don't know, I make the mouth guards for a pretty good portion of the UFC roster, and he's been one of my guys for a few years now. However, that being said, he is a little bit frustrating to watch at times because he's one of those guys that doesn't really have a plan B, right? Like he doesn't really have a good way to sort of adjust his game plan based on how the fight is going, and seems to be perfectly fine accepting a decision loss a few times. Like the Pedro Munoz fight comes to mind. The Song Yadong fight comes to mind, where he's out of the fight. It's like you're gonna lose if you keep doing this. And he still stays like fairly one-dimensional. So that's kind of like what worries me. He's not one of those guys that comes to mind that really fights for your money. Like there are certain guys that even if they're losing, they're always in the fight and they always have a chance. I don't think Chris is one of those guys. I think if he's losing the fight, he's losing the fight, and especially because, he doesn't have crazy knockout power. It's typically like an accumulation of damage, especially to the leg kicks, which reminds me of his main training partner, John Martinez, who also has like really devastating leg kicks. But man, don't repeat this, but like, I feel like he's kind of like John Martinez light. You know what I mean? Like not the same kind of power, not the same kind of explosiveness, and maybe just a few steps behind him career-wise, not saying that he won't get there. But yeah, it's the kind of fight also where like I'm hesitant to make a move before the fight starts. It's another one I'll probably watch live to kind of see what happens. If he starts stuffing takedowns early, that's a much different story, But you know, if Castaneda lands 1 or 2, does that take away the kicking game of Gutierrez? Is he reluctant to kick after that? You know, which completely like, you know, it eliminates his game altogether. So I think the path to victory for Gutierrez is really, really tough in this one. And it's not to say that I'm super high on Castaneda either. I'm not.
I'm not
super
either.
confident. Yeah, you know, so you know, just if I'm flipping a coin on this one, I'm probably picking Gutierrez, but I'm a little bit biased, obviously. And that's mostly just like having, you know, just gambling. It's like I hope he wins. I want him to win, so let me pick him. You know, but it's not something I would I would be betting a lot on. It's not something I would feel really comfortable with. Definitely feel good about the over. I could definitely see this being a close fight as well. And let me put this one out there. On paper, Castaneda is the underdog. I bet you can get him plus 3.5. Probably going to be like that minus 200 range. But I mean, if ever there was a
like
lock,
that.
I mean, that's like a super lock, you know. So that might be something worth looking at.
Yeah. I definitely would do that one in a parlay rather than the minus 3.5 for like minus 200.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this fight's going to decision too. Like, I mean, I don't see a leg kick KO from Gutierrez or like Castaneda knocking out hitting him either.
Yeah.
Like the overs are safe too in this one, but like I said, it's at 400 now, so
yeah,
better take it now if you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Paku says, like, will this fight even happen? I know I think they tried a couple times. I'm not studying this fight again. I agree. I'm not doing this fight again if they don't fight. So somebody better freaking fight and win. I don't care if your tummy hurts or. Let's see. Derek said, this is a tough call. I'm on Castaneda. Giddy has the leg kicks, but he's going to be reluctant to use them for fear of being taken down. Another close fight. Agreed. R.I.P. Mongo McMichael. Oh, he passed away. I know he had like all that. What did he have? Like MS or something? Well, that stinks. Another 85 Bears down in the world. Net TV Pro, Doc, your picks have been fire lately. Every time I second guess and go the other way, I regret it. Lesson learned, just follow Doc. Appreciate the insights and doing your thing. Yeah, there you go, Alex. So.
I must say that literally the only person that tailed Dominic Reyes by TKO.
Nice.
There he is. I told you there was one. There was literally one person that was like, okay, I'll do it.
I didn't make it. I didn't make my tracked bets, but like I said, I had like I always call it like a fun bet. Like early, I was like, Dominic Reyes, man. I'm like, and the thing about that fight was, and I remember saying this in my video, I was like, Nikita always like just barges forward and leaves his face open, and you can't do that to Dominic Reyes. Like he lights out, and that's exactly what happened. I was like, like I should have put that at tracked instead of Lopez. I would have swept the night, but it's all right. It's all right. Still won money. We got JDM Freak. What's up, man? What's up, JK Doc? Defend your units. Let's go. Appreciate you. Thought Johnny was about to say down in the dirt. I was thinking about saying that. I'll be honest, but I didn't want to say it. Down in the world. I'll just say the world in the dirt. Next fight though, Evan Elder versus Gage Young. Did you do research for this one?
I sure did.
You can go ahead and go.
I'm actually really excited about this because I love Evan Elder. He is so effing good everywhere. He's like a true mixed martial artist, and just doesn't have any holes in his game whatsoever. And you would not really know how great he is based on just some really unlucky matchmaking in the UFC. He made his debut up a weight class and went the distance. In his second fight, he was winning against Nassim Sadikov and got stopped by a cut. So he started his UFC career 0-2. And that's when he started to kind of settle in. But I think he's so good. I think he's so well-rounded. Match him up with a super short notice opponent who never really fought great competition based on his record. The best competition he fought was on Contender Series. I'm talking about Gage Young, and he lost that fight. I think Elder is going to demolish him. I think he's probably going to be a little conservative and not engage in the striking too much, take him down very, very quickly. I'm leaning sub, but definitely a finish in this one. And I'm kind of shocked that Elder was minus 200 last I checked. This is one of those that I think is just a complete mismatch and should have been like minus 500 at a minimum. So yeah, domination from Evan Elder, definitely leaning finish. And I'm kind of feeling the sub in this one. Because like I said, I don't think he's going to engage too much in case Gage comes out a little crazy with the striking. I think he's going to try to keep it clean, take him down, take his back, choke him out, possibly in the first round, possibly the second round. But I definitely think the finish is there. And this is another one that I'm really hammering. And the odds are low enough where you could take them, just take the money line. I think right now it's minus 198.
Yep.
Not bad. I can live with that.
Minus 205. It's okay. Close enough for me.
Yeah, I can live with that.
Yeah, so I already know what our one of our legs for the easy money parlay is going to be, because I'm all over Evan Elder at this price, because he should be at least minus 400.
I love Evan Elder. He's such a good fighter, and if you watch the tape on him, it's like it's hard to see it. You got to read between the lines a little bit. But you know how good I think Nassim Sadikov is.
Oh, I think he's good too. Yeah.
Yeah, Elder was beating him. He was up 2-0 on the scorecards when they stopped that fight. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Elder is like, he's super well rounded. He's just good everywhere. Like he's durable. I mean, if you look back at his losses, like you said, like his first fight, it was against a bigger Preston Parsons, who was able to take him down. Because he was the bigger guy. It wasn't his weight class; it was up to 170, and then he was winning against Sadikov until the cut. So, I mean, I can't fault him for any of those losses at all. And Gage, like, I mean, I did watch a couple of his fights. He's not bad. He does have he's a good striker. He's got good jab, good leg kicks. He does like to push forward. But again, like, the one thing I saw is his striking defense. Like, he's durable, but he just gets hit a lot. And super short notice, like, 4 or 5 days. You just got to go Elder in this spot. I just think he's better everywhere. Even on the full camp, I would still pick him at minus 200.
Totally.
It's kind of just a gift right now. I mean, you have to have Evan Elder in some parlay of yours, or just straight up, like you said, something.
Yeah, I think he's got a real high fight IQ also. And I think the smart money says that, he'll try to wear him out a little bit because it's such short notice. So as soon as they start engaging, I think first opportunity, he's shooting for a double leg and just going to, hold him down a little bit till he tires him out, and then go for the finish maybe a little bit later in the round. That's what I'm thinking. So definitely, like, I keep coming back to it. Elder by sub. That's kind of what I'm feeling on this one.
I like it.
But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Effie asks, who the F is this guy? Not Evan. Yeah, he's a super short notice guy. Super short notice. He was on the Contender Series. I can't like pronounce that last name, Skillet or whatever.
Yeah.
Jeremy was really looking forward to betting against Hassan Azada. Yeah, I was as well. And I had Evan Elder wrapped up in a parlay until all that shenanigans happened. So
because of the diddling, is that what we're talking about?
Hopefully he gets what he deserves. I don't even know if it was like, if he was like accused, or if he was like literally arrested for it, or like, I don't know. But I just stay away.
It's all bad. Yeah.
I stay away from all that stuff. But yeah, hopefully he gets what he deserves, all that good stuff. Scotty Law, what's up? Good evening. If this UFC thing doesn't work out for you guys, you both should become male models. Come on. I'm not that good looking. I am good looking, but not that good looking. This fight is where Evan teaches Gabe to respect his elders by giving him a side. And then we got Mr. Nice Guy MMA, Dr. Sarowitz, not on X or Twitter. He's on Instagram. Are you on Twitter?
It's the thing. I'm not. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because if you're not, then I don't have you as a friend.
No, it's I never took the plunge. Instagram is the only one I mess with right now.
Here you go. So definitely follow him on Twitter. The links are below in the description if you want, or not Twitter, on Instagram. And the links are below for real. But the next fight, the featured prelim, is Matt Schnell versus Jimmy Flick. Interesting fight. Battle of the guys you kind of want to fit. Can't not fit Matt Schnell. Like Matt Schnell is the better fighter on paper for me personally. I've heard other takes that they
Mhm.
like Jimmy Flick. I get it, but what's Matt Schnell's biggest downfall or bugaboo? Like he's got no chin. Jimmy Flick has 0 KOs in the UFC.
Mhm.
I don't think he has any power in those hands. He's a very good grappler, very sneaky grappler.
Mhm.
But Matt Schnell's a good grappler himself too, and he's got the better striking. He's got good power in his hands. He does like to get in the brawl sometimes, which that's what gets him out. Gets knocked out, I should say. But I don't think he needs to mess around in this fight. Keep the fight on the feet and look for the KO, and I think he can find it. Jimmy Flick has been KO'd 6 times in his career, and I can see it happening again. So I like the under in this spot. I think it's set at 1.5, or
Mhm.
is this it? Yeah. I mean, I hate betting under 1.5, but I do think it hits one way or another. But I'm going to go with Matt Schnell by KO in the first round. I think he gets it done. What do you think?
Didn't Schnell just retire after his last fight?
They
Or
both
am I
they both
imagining that?
retired. Yeah,
They both
I think he
retired,
did.
right? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's always like a weird thing to me too. It's just like, well, you didn't think you had it anymore than you
Maybe the
found
UFC
it.
was like, how about this?
Yeah,
Here's Jimmy Flick.
we
He's like,
gift
I'm
you
in.
this. Yeah, it's like a weird one too, right? It's like you shouldn't really have that much confidence picking Matt Schnell, but he's had some awesome fights. He's had some great come from behind wins and stuff too. And like you're right, the real risk is on the KO side. So it's like, do you take, Jimmy Flick by KO plus 1,200 on principle? Like maybe,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
that's not a bad. If you're one of those
It's not the
guys,
worst.
not a bad spot.
Just on principle, right?
Yeah.
But on the flip side, Schnell by KO, I think is about even money, maybe plus 140. And is that something you feel really good about either?
I feel better.
I feel better. I feel better too. I like the under. I like the alternate under. If you go 2.5, it's up to minus 240-ish, 245 maybe. It's not the worst. But it's like, are these the horses you want to put your money on? And I'm like, probably not. These are guys that both like, I agree with you 100%. I'm leaning Schnell. I like him as a fighter. I think you're right though. There's just, it's like this, is his chin there at all? Does he still have it? Does he still want to be there? So this is kind of like a weird fight. I'm kind of scratching my head as to why it's like the featured prelim too. It's like, did people
I think
really
there's just going to be violence. They always like to put violence fights on the feature prelim or the main card openers.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And actually that gives me even like a little bit of confidence on the under too. Like, they're going to be going for the finish, especially if the crowd's going a little crazy too. So that's probably the only play I feel like not good about, but like medium about, you know what I mean? Like looking for the under, either the 1.5 or the 2.5.
Yeah, the under 1.5 is minus 110.
Yeah, that's actually not bad.
But yeah, both these guys go for the finish early too. Like they don't mess around. Like Jimmy Flick is usually first round sub or bust, and Matt Schnell is usually, KO or bust, and he usually gets KO'd, but he's not fighting somebody that KOs anybody.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of like loops and turns you got to figure out, and then the under I think is probably the best.
I wonder if you could hit like a alternate like double chance.
KO or sub.
Yeah, on both sides. I wonder if that's like let me see.
I think it's it's on DraftKings. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is here. Yeah. Oh, okay. So listen to this: Schnell by KO or Flick by sub minus 200.
I mean, that's how I think they win.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what's the under 2.5? Is it out yet?
Minus 245.
I mean, you can get a little better price. I mean, that's how they win if either one wins. I think that's how they win. And I don't see this fight going to decision. Get a little bit better price tag.
Yeah.
Let's see. Rem Dog. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Doctor. Appreciate you coming out. Rem Dog, as always. I bet on Flick, but I can't remember why. Okay. I don't know why either. But Andrew, what's up, Andrew? Let's fucking go, Johnny. What's up, Andrew? Appreciate you hanging out with us. But yeah, I mean, I'm just weirdly confident in Matt Schnell in this fight. In this fight only. Like any other fight, no.
It's weird. I know. I agree. It's weird. But
maybe I'm too confident because you can't trust either guy.
Yeah. I mean, you're pulling for Matt Schnell, like as a fan, I'm like, I'm pulling for Schnell in this one,
Yeah. Main card, we got Ikram Aliskerov versus Andre Muniz, and in this one, I mean, I'll be quick and easy. It's going to be a Ikram KO, probably first round, maybe second. There was a time in my UFC content career that I thought Muniz might be pretty decent, and that was early in his UFC career when he was getting all those subs. But now he's looking real bad, and I could have swore he was older than 35, but he's 35 years old too, and this is probably the best striker he's fought in the UFC as of for now. And Ikram, you know, don't look too hard at the Robert Whittaker loss. Robert Whittaker is the man, so Andre Muniz is not. He's not a striker. I think Ikram's wrestling will be able to keep it on the feet for sure. And that's where Muniz excels, and I think there's going to be a KO, probably, like I said, first like that. I don't know what that odds are on FanDuel, but I do like that. I might look at it if it's plus money. But yeah, Ikram by KO is what I'm going to go with, and I'll say first round. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that. I like Ikram in this fight. All of like the pre-fight interviews, he's saying like he needs to make a statement in this fight. And it's like, well, what does that mean? That obviously means like first round KO, right? He's going for a finish. He's not trying to win. He's trying to make a statement. So the only thing that concerns me is I'm worried that there's like a little bit of a trap in this fight, because typically when a Andre Muniz fight ends in the first round, he's the winner. When he gets finished, it's typically later because his gas tank is not great. So he's usually exhausting himself in the first round, getting finished in the second or the third. So right away, I'm looking at this. I'm like, first round TKO all day. And then I'm like, wait a second. Okay, let's think about this for a sec. Because even like the -1.5, it kind of feels good. It's even money right now, but I definitely have a little bit of a concern about, you know, Muniz being in the fight for a little bit longer.
Can I boost your confidence?
Yeah, big time. Totally.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to read off some names, and you tell me if they are dangerous strikers.
I already see where this is going.
Fabinski, Ronaldo Souza, Eric Anders, Uriah Hall, maybe, Brendan Allen, Paul Craig, and Jung Young Park.
I think Paul Craig is all you have to say. I think the Paul Craig
you had me at Paul Craig.
Yeah, but just for argument's sake, when did the KO happen in that fight? Do you have it up?
Which one?
The Paul Craig KO.
That was in 2023, so about a year and a half ago, almost 2.
No, I meant at what time was the finish? Like what?
Oh, it was in the second round.
Right? Like
late second round.
Late second round, right? So the 1.5 is a little. I know. It's true. I take it back. So I mean, this is another one. I have a note to myself specifically for this moment, which says don't overthink it. So if I'm not overthinking of it, you know, it's Ikram by KO all day. That's -160 right now. So I would love it if that was more like even money. But I mean, that's another one that feels like a super hammer to me. If you want to get a little cheeky, you could pick the round. Round 1 is +215. Round 2 +330. Might be worth a little sprinkle. Round 3 +500, but I don't see it really going that far. Yeah, my gut says round 1. Round 2 wouldn't shock me though. If you want to get weird, take Muniz by sub. That's +1600 for anyone that's interested. I'm probably not going to do that. But if you have this fight as like a big parlay anchor, yeah, a lot of times it makes sense to hedge it just in case, you know. But yeah, give me. I got to be honest. I'm probably not going to mess around with the rounds too much. I'll probably take Ikram TKO -160.
I like that. I might put him in some like that play in some like fun parlays I like to do on the side. Just I usually do like 2 or 3 fighters that are like by decision or sub or something like that, and hopefully I'll hit 1 or 2 of them. But that seems like an easy one.
Yeah, I feel great about. I mean, that's a hammer to me. I mean, you should feel good if you're taking that. The only ones I'm sweating is if I go -1.5, which is even money, which is very tempting. But if you don't want to sweat, I think you go Ikram TKO all day.
Yeah, and I mean, we were kind of talking about it. Yeah, I just don't think I don't think Muniz gets a finish.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
think so either.
so like the under 1.5 to me is almost pointless. Like, yeah, you get a little bit better price tag, but I'm like, I'd rather just be safer. If it's not that much of a difference from minus 160, minus 120 or whatever it is, it's not that
Yeah,
much of a
minus
difference.
160.
I'll be safe and I feel way more confident. I'll just throw
Yeah.
extra money on it and make up
Yeah,
for that
totally.
extra 50 cents or whatever it is.
Yeah, this is one that I think it's gonna make everybody look like a genius on Sunday morning when you hammer the Grown by TKO. Yeah.
Yeah. Rem Dog said, I'm looking forward to watching more than betting this weekend. Man, I think this is a good betting card, though. I think this is a lot of spots I like. I could probably have like 15 bets if I really wanted to. I'm like trying to pick like my bets that I like and like going with some of my gut picks, and we'll see. We got Real Sports Bets picks. What's up, man? Appreciate you coming out, hanging out with us as always. I think I saw Jimmy Flick smoking meth behind a dumpster last week. I think he actually posted like the same picture he posted like a year ago of him training. I don't know if he meant to do that or not, or if what, but
I did see that. Yeah.
Maybe he's not. Like, I question his what do you call it? Maybe his gumption a little bit, whether he wants to fight or whether or not he needs a paycheck. One of those things. So I do trust Chanel more. I think he has a little bit more. I don't want to say heart, but maybe more. Maybe more heart. I'm gonna say this wrong, probably. Twiz, what's up, man? Process by first round, Marbo Red to the forehead. All right. Yo, Doc, been riding with your picks. They've been solid. The text you. Okay, keep it rolling. All right, man, rocking. Love it. That's to me, Johnny. I have 15 possible bets in my notes, and I have to choose my best 5. Good luck. Because I'm having trouble, and I usually do like 7. And I try not to do anything more than 7. So if you're doing 5, good luck. I like a little too much on this card. I might have a lot of fun bets. Let's put it that way. Next one: Randy Brown versus Nicholas Dalby. Who do you like?
Yeah, I like Randy Brown. I've always kind of liked Randy Brown. He's another one. He's kind of struggled, but against like legit opponents. Like if you look at his last fight, split decision with Brian Battle. I thought Battle won the fight, but I mean, he is surging right now. So, you can't really fault him too much for that. On the flip side, I mean, I like Dalby as like a fan. I like his kind of style. A lot of late finish potential. But was he 40 years old now?
Yep.
There does
40.
come a
hit that magic number.
Yeah, I know about that. But it's just, he's always alive for that sneaky like round 3 TKO or something like that. But I don't think this is going to be like a super high paced fight. I think Randy Brown really slows things down, stays on the outside, and just kind of like does his thing, I love Randy Brown by decision. It's even money right now.
Like that.
And I mean, Dalby's never been finished. I mean, it's not to say he can't be finished because, it's like everybody's never been finished until they're finished. But, at 40 years old, this much of a veteran, I don't see him getting finished. I think I have a lot of confidence in Randy Brown by decision. Because Brown's been looking good. I mean, there were some fights that he struggled with, but all of his recent losses, very, very close fights against really, really good competition too. Over 2.5 is like a layup, but I think that's like minus 300 right now. Yeah. And this is another one, like on paper, Randy Brown's a better fighter. He should win all 3 rounds. It's just, you never know kind of what you're going to get out of Dalby late in a fight. So it's hard to say it's going to be like domination, but give me Randy Brown by decision, even money right now.
Yep. Yeah, I'm on the same page. I'm also on Randy Brown. I'm pretty confident that he gets this one done. He's going to be a little bit taller, a little bit longer reach. He does have good elbows and good knees too if it gets up closer in the clinch and stuff. Dalby will push a pace as he always does, but I just think Randy Brown can stay on the outside and just like, I don't want to say pick him apart, but just, I don't want to say either point fight either, but he'll just outstrike him and land the better shots. And I don't know if Dalby's going to be able to do anything unless he can maybe get a takedown, but I don't think he's going to be able to keep him down either. Like we've seen Randy Brown get controlled on the ground, but that was against very, very good grapplers. Like I think Dalby's solid. I don't think he's that kind of grappler and wrestler guy. Like he could do a little bit of everything. He's not very dangerous. He's very durable. Obviously, he has an amazing cardio, but he is hittable. But I just think Randy Brown's gonna be able to touch him up more. Just beat him with volume, basically, for 3 rounds.
There's only one scenario that kind of worries me in this fight, and that is I worry that Randy Brown is a little bit of an emotional fighter. And there are times where it feels like the game plan kind of goes out the window. And, based on his last fight, I wouldn't be shocked if he's a little more aggressive in this one. If he's a little more, if he goes for the finish a little bit more, which I think is like the worst thing you could do against Dalby, because you need to really conserve your energy and don't waste your time trying to finish someone who you're not going to finish. So I think it'll be telling very early, like how he comes out. If he's patient, stays on the outside, focuses on the kicks, doesn't engage too much, I'll feel really, really good. If he comes out like a lunatic, I will be sweating this fight. I will be sweating for sure.
If anybody comes out like a lunatic against Nicholas Dalby, I mean, they're probably going to lose. Like,
yeah,
you just don't do
right.
That. You might win the first round, but you ain't going to be winning round 2 and 3.
Yeah, that's really the only scenario that kind of worries me is like if he comes out a little bit like a hothead. But do I really think that's going to happen? No. Do I think it's possible? Yes. But, I don't, that's not what I'm expecting. But if he comes out aggressive, I'm definitely going to have a serious sweat on this one.
Yeah, I agree. But I do like Randy Brown by decision as well. I like him as a parlay piece if you want to throw him in there. I like the overs of this parlay piece as well. Not too terrible. I think he can win 1 round, probably round 3. But those are the looks that I would probably play for this one. But there's a lot you could choose from in this fight too. PRATES KO, Smith sub, Giga decision. That is filthy.
How dare you?
I mean, it can happen, but whew, that middle one, that's the one I was like, eeh, but we'll get there. Big rude boy fan here. Nicely done. Brown by decision, Dalby KO. Yeah, late KO though. Late. Brown backers are going to be stressed when it's the end of round 2 and Randy starts slowing and Dalby starts breathing like a madman. He'll be breathing like a madman in round 1. He just breathes like that the whole fight. I remember like the first couple times I watched him fight, I was like, this dude's gassed already. And then no, he just like out. And I was like, oh, that's just how he breathes. Never mind. Note that.
Yeah.
But the next fight we got is going to be Michelle Pereira versus Abus Magomedov. And yeah, I think, you know what? I was thinking maybe a little bit too hard in this one early on. Then as the week goes on, I'm getting more confidence in Pereira. And I think maybe it was the recency bias for how he looked in his last fight against Fluffy. But I know who the better striker and the more dynamic striker is and the better grappler if Magomed tries to wrestle. And that's Pereira. I mean, both guys kind of slow down a little bit. Not to say that they death gas, but I know who's going to be quicker on the feet, who has better footwork, who's going to be around the outside. Both have power. Both are pretty durable. And maybe, Pereira has a sneaky front choke game too. So he can maybe get some, get his neck or Abus's neck if he tries to wrestle. So I'm going to go Pereira. I like the money line. Like I said, I think I was just thinking a little bit too hard. There was a time that you could have got Pereira at like -125, but it's -140 range. I still think that's fine. Anything under 150, I think it's a close fight. I could see Abus winning too, but I'm gonna go Pereira. I'm like weirdly confident in this one too, more as the week goes on. But like if you watch my breakdown video, I was like, I don't know. I'm just gonna go Pereira. But like I'm thinking about it more. I'm like, man, I should have been a little bit more confident in my video. But give me Pereira to win. I could see an early finish. I could see a sub, and I could see a decision from him too. That's the thing. Abus, I think he needs to win by KO. I don't think he'll win a decision personally. What do you think?
Yeah, I freaking love Michelle Fajeda. As both a fan and as a betting man myself. Yeah, just I don't know why. Also, like I have crazy confidence in him. He's always in the fight. He's really unorthodox, and he just finds a way of catching people in weird positions and transitions and stuff like that. if you're going to take him, I think, you know, the money line is perfectly fine. I think if you're going for a finish, that is very much alive. I actually picked him by sub in this fight, plus 800.
I like it.
That's my official pick. You know, just for like a little sprinkle, but you know, the money line for me, I'm loving. I think I think it's tons and tons of value, even at minus 140, minus 150. But it's weird, like looking at his fight history, he has a tendency to knock out the grapplers and submit the strikers, right? So depending on how like the fight is kind of going, if he starts getting the better of it on the feet, I could see Abbas like, you know, shooting a sloppy double leg and getting caught in a guillotine or front choke or something like that. So I mean, at plus 800, I like it. It's very much alive.
Sneaky. I like
it. It's a sneaky one. It's a sneaky one for sure. I don't recall what the line was for KO or for the finish in general, but any of that stuff is alive. You know, minus 1.5 isn't bad either. I just didn't get a chance to look at that stuff, but yeah, definitely, I definitely love Pereira in this fight, and just as a fan too, like I love his style. He's a little bit of a lunatic.
Yeah,
and that style. Sorry, not to cut you off, but I was going to say that sort of like unorthodox style, it allows him to beat fighters that are arguably more skilled than him. You know, it allows him to kind of outperform because he's always dangerous and always engaging and always in this like unconventional style. So like you could have guys on paper that are objectively better than him and more skilled, and he could still find a way to get that finish and win. So I think it's interesting. Yeah.
I was going to say Pereira inside the distance is plus 150. KO is plus 200. And like you said, sub is plus 800. So
I love all that. Just do it all. Do all those.
I mean,
all those together.
You can't go wrong. I mean, I don't want to completely write off Magomedov. I think he could win this one. Mm-hmm. But I think it's got to be by KO. And I don't know if he's going to be able to KO Pereira. I don't even know if he's going to be able to catch him in the big ring. Mm-hmm, the dude skirts on the outside, and he's quick. He has those Superman punches. He's so unorthodox. You don't know what's going to happen. He has toned it down a bit, which I'm glad. But he still does a couple of them, especially early. So, and that could be the one thing, you know. And then as the fight goes on, too, like I said, they both kind of slow down a bit. But if Abus gets a little sloppy with them takedowns, you got to watch that choke. So that's what I'm a little bit worried about for him. This fight doesn't make it past round one. I could see that too. Let's go Brazil. I used to be in PC with the guy on the left. Am I the left or you're the left?
Thank you.
I don't know what PC means either. It's at whatever. Michelle by back spring power bomb. That would be wild, Vincent. But after seeing Lewis Taylor KO Abus in 33 seconds, I just can't bet him. Agreed.
Yeah, I think he's been KO'd twice and submitted twice.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and I think Pereira's been KO'd a couple times too, but it's been a while. And then, well, except the last fight, but that was more so just exhaustion in round 5. I don't even know how he made it to round 5. He was exhausted after round 1. So I'll give him a little bit of credit there. He didn't really like go lights out or anything. It was more like the ref was like, okay, I've seen enough. You're not doing anything. And Fluffy is just taking you down. You're getting back up. So like, it was one of those things. So I was actually kind of shocked. I agree. Flip a coin. Hope it lands on Michelle. Abus is too inconsistent to pick in a 50-50 fight. There you go. I like it. Next one, Giga Chikadze versus David Onama. And I'll let you go.
Cool. Yeah, this is a cool fight. I'm kind of looking forward to this one. I'm a little biased in this one too, because David Onama is one of the guys I work with. I do his mouthpieces too. I like him as a fighter. I like his style. He is someone who absolutely fights for your money, meaning if it's not going his way, he'll change things. You know, he's never out of it. He has that one punch KO power. But I will say stylistically, there are some challenges here because they're both strikers, but they're like different kinds of strikers. You know, Giger's better at distance, probably more kick heavy. Whereas Onama is a little bit more one-dimensional in the striking department. But I would give Onama a power advantage for sure. However, on the Giga side, you know, you wonder about the durability. You wonder how much he's got left because I know he's been coming off a lot of injuries. And just in terms of
He
strength of
has
schedule,
an injury.
yeah, like he was very, very active like in 2020. But since then, I think he's had like one fight a year. And I know he had a pretty serious shoulder injury against Arnold Allen last year. So it's like, and he is the older fighter too. So you kind of just wonder, is this like a gatekeeper kind of situation? Because there was a time where Giga was like the man, he felt like an up and comer and like a real contender. But, once the competition got a little tougher and he was fighting more well-rounded opponents, like a Calvin Kattar or Arnold Allen, like his last one, he didn't look so good. You know what I mean? So the thing that kind of concerns me though is on paper, this is a good matchup for Giga, right? This is someone that's going to play right into his skill set, someone who's going to try to box him while he's trying to kick them.
Yeah.
But I think Onama's scrappy. I think if he's not winning this fight, he'll get a little unorthodox. I think he may rush in there. We've seen him hurt before. We've seen him recover from some pretty serious shots. And if I'm keeping score correctly, he has won the majority of those fights that he has been hurt in. So in a close fight, like I'm probably giving an edge to Onama, but I was back and forth on this one, honestly. And I could see it going either way. I question the durability of Giga. I wonder if there's a little bit of ring rust there. I don't think Onama's going to finish him. I think he's going to gut it out. Onama by decision plus 165 is really solid. Money line, I think it's like minus 175 right now, 180, something like that. Also pretty solid too. But I've been back and forth, but now that we're getting closer to the day, I'm edging more towards Onama.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this fight was probably the closest and the hardest. Well, I shouldn't say the hardest because there's one coming up in the main event. This was one of the hardest fights to pick. And I thought I was going to pick Giga, but then I was thinking about it more and more and looking back at some of my notes and fights. And I'm like you said, Onama is the scrappier fighter. And obviously Giga is super durable. He's tough. He's going to gut it out, but like he gets hurt a lot in some of his fights. And especially after the fights, he's hurt. Who knows how his injuries are going to look when he comes in, the new injury, whatever. He's 36 years old. He always looks good in round one, kind of slows down a little bit after that. Onama has gassed for three rounds. A little bit worried for Onama for me is he has been getting rocked in some of his fights, but he has been recovering very well and winning those fights. But I like Onama's pressure. If you pressure the kicker, usually you do well. I do like that. So if he can get in boxing range, I think he's definitely clearly the better boxer. He just can't stay at range. So he's going to have to keep a pace on Giga, make him on his back foot the whole time. And I think he can do that. He might have to eat a couple shots. Hopefully it's not, nothing crazy, but Onama's never been KO'd. He's never been subbed. I'm just going to lean Onama. I think this fight's super close. I think it could play out a lot of different ways too. I don't think I would feel comfortable having a bet on Onama, even though I picked him. I'd rather have them like on the close fight like this. I'd rather have the plus money side.
Yeah.
But, and even Giga plus 3.5, I like that too. Cause I don't think there's going to be a finish either. I think both guys are super tough. They will gut it out. Even if they're hurt, they will gut it out until round 3 ends. So, just give me Onama by decision. Not super confident. I don't blame anybody going one way or another with overs, unders, and whatever. I think this fight could play out in a lot of different ways. So,
yeah, I think there's value too. Like Giga plus 3.5 is minus 150. Over great. Over 2.5 is minus 188, which isn't bad either. Yeah, but this is such a tough one to call. If it's 2020 Giga, I'm taking Giga, but 2025, I'm going.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
Let's see. Elijah Wan, what's up, man? He took the under plus 140. I don't mind it. I could see, a liver kick or a Onama KO. I could see that for sure. Giga, as a side note, I heard a rumor that Onama is lazy in the gym. How do you know about this? No,
I have not heard that. No.
Okay.
He's another Iridium guy. I can maybe ask around.
Okay. There we go. I know we've talked before about certain things.
Mhm.
I have a big bet on Anama and I'm even bigger on Malcolm. All right. So good luck on those. Giga representing Georgia like Cody Durden. Exactly. Giga all day. I've heard from people in his camp that he's looking brilliant. Had Marab in for weeks doing hard rounds. I think we'll see an improved Giga here. I got his money line plus 160. I don't mind it. Like I said, it's a good line. It's going to be a close fight. You just have to hope it goes your way. Well, shit. Yep. Sorry. But I mean, I can see an under too. Don't worry. I just personally think both guys are super tough and they're just hard to get out of there. Like, has Giga even been finished once? Let me look real
think
quick.
so.
I
Not
can't
in
even.
the
He's been
UFC.
subbed.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was like early in his career he was subbed. So he hasn't even been finished in the UFC. So like both guys haven't been finished in the UFC. There you go.
And he's had a couple of split decisions too, Giga, right? I think he had a couple split decision wins. Yeah. So he's always in a lot of close fights in the UFC.
I remember the Jamal Emmers fight. I thought Emmers won, and they gave it to Giga. So as I'm nearly 50, 250, I can confirm I'm lazy in the gym. In fact, non-existent at the gym. Definitely. All right, we got the co-main event: Anthony Smith versus Ming Yang Zhang. I'll make this fairly quick as well. This is Anthony Smith's retirement fight. I don't think he knew that he was going to fight this crazy guy that doesn't like to get out of, get into round two, if you want to say. He's got, I think his last 10 fights, he's got first round KOs. So give me Ming Yang Zhang by first round KO. I mean, shocker, but there is a world where if Anthony Smith can somehow survive round one, he might be live to get a sub or something crazy, because we haven't seen Ming Yang in round two in years. So I know he's fought lower level competition, but I mean, if you crack Anthony Smith a couple times, I mean, he likes to, I don't want to say quit, but he kind of says, all right, I had a good try here. One of those things. So, but I'm just going to go with Ming Yang round one KO. I like the under 1.5 as a parlay piece. I don't think this fight gets over 1.5 at all. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll tell you, the only thing that really concerns me, that like puts a little bit of a hiccup in my thought process, is the fact that this is his retirement fight.
Yeah.
You could probably count on, I mean, you could definitely count on one hand the number of fighters who have won their last fight.
I can think of one.
I could think of one also, but I'm forgetting the name.
Lytle? Robbie Lawler.
Okay, and I'm thinking of Chris Lytle, so that's two.
Okay, two.
There's probably more, but definitely one.
He KO'd. Who did he KO? Robbie Lawler. It was that guy, Nico Price.
Yeah. Got it. So
I was all
like
over Nico Price. I'm like, mother effer, dude.
Well, because the retirement fight is the kiss of death, and there's a reason for it, because you're mentally checked out. There's nothing left. But and also like Anthony Smith, like on paper, like he hasn't looked great. Well, not just on paper, in reality too. But like, I'm just gonna throw some things at you, and you tell me what you think about it. So, number one, Anthony Smith has not lost in the first round, I think, since 2013. Even with all of those bad performances where he didn't look so great, he still made it to the second or third round. And just looking at some of his last losses, I'm just going to read some names to you, right? So you got Dominic Reyes, who is surging right now. You've got Roman Dolidze, who is surging right now.
There's another fighter that we were talking about, like coming off of KOs and looking great.
Yeah,
Dominic Reyes.
It's
three
weird,
of them,
right? But it's like but no, if you go down the list, it's like a murderer's row, like, Khalil Roundtree. The Johnny Walker run was a little iffy, but Magomed Ankalaev. And it's just like, at the time they looked really bad, but in hindsight, with a little bit more perspective, it's like, oh, of course. Like, why would you expect anything else? Of course, Magomed Ankalaev is going to beat Anthony Smith. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think, like, if I'm trying to be objective on this, and I was talking about it before, it's like, who has the potential to outperform and who has the potential to underperform? There's some potential for Anthony Smith to outperform. I'm thinking of those Ryan Spann fights. Like, I don't think anybody picked them against Ryan Spann in the rematch, but that was like a weird, surprising kind of performance. And it's just like, he's got heart, right? Like, it's in his nickname. He's just not as durable. Like, it's just, he's he just looks, when he loses, he looks really bad, right? Even though, yes, he has heart. Yes, he's, wants to be there. But so looking at the other side of the coin, Zhang, right? All first round KOs. Debut, his opponent was pretty short notice, right? I'm forgetting his name right now. And if you go down the list and look at the strength of his schedule, it's a lot of guys with losing records, a lot of guys that were, like tomato cans. So it's a little suspect to me, and it begs the question: if he doesn't get Smith out of there in the first round, what happens next? What's his gas tank like? Can he go into deep water? Is he still as dangerous after the first 3 minutes or something like that? So why wouldn't I take Anthony Smith by submission plus 1,000?
No, I don't hate that at all.
or second round finish for Anthony Smith, something like that. Because I think there is an alternate universe where Anthony Smith survives the first round. Zhang starts to gas because he's really going in for the kill and gets into deep water he's never been to before, and Smith sort of guts it out. So you're 100% right. The most likely scenario is Zhang first round knockout, right?
Yeah.
But I'm probably not betting that. I'm probably taking money and lighting it on fire via Anthony Smith submission.
Okay. I don't hate it. I mean,
no, to be clear, I hate it.
I hate it.
It has to be done. Someone must do it. I'm nominating myself. Y'all are good. I'm gonna take the bullet on this one, but someone has to do it just in case. But everything says it's ridiculous because man, I tell you, I would feel so much more alive if it wasn't his retirement fight.
I mean, he also did it when against Victor Petrino. He was a huge underdog. It wasn't his retirement fight, but he was able to do it. Like, I could see something stupid like that happening. Like
something stupid like that, yeah.
A banana peel. And then guess what? There's a guillotine. And, Anthony Smith can do a lot of things, and he could do a guillotine very well, especially early.
To the world. I'm just gonna put this out there and take do what you will with it. Okay. Anthony Smith gets rocked, but survives. Does some weird clinching stuff. I could see Zhang going for like ground and pound, and Smith doing some desperation, like holding in full guard.
Fetus position.
Fetus position. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see him turtle up, but it's just surviving.
But like he'll get out of it because the ref will be like, no, it'll be Jason, the ref. He has the over. He always has the over, and he's like, I keep going. Like I don't see anything wrong. So
we need like 200 or 300 strike attempts from Zhang, right? Like while Anthony's comes out for the second round, hands down, breathing heavy, can barely stand up. Smith takes him down and submits him. Round 2 submission plus 3,000.
Love it.
Wrap it up.
You might as well cash it right now.
Well, we could delete this, right? Like if it's stupid, like
Oh yeah, I could delete it easy.
Just cut it out.
It's a live show.
We're gonna no, it's fine. We'll do it in post. We'll cut this out in post if it's really bad. But that's my play. That's the only thing I'm betting on this fight. Smith, nice submission, round 1, round 2.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get around to anything on this one, even though like there's a lot of spots that like look like they're easy money, but like you said, I could see something stupid happening, and there's actually better spots that I'm more confident in. So Smith by crying on the canvas and Zhang's
Dude, it's the retirement that kills me, right? Like it's like you're retiring. I think I could see him quitting. You know what I mean? I could see him quitting and just being done. Sure. And that would be upsetting to me, but
Robbie Lawler fight was fixed. It does seem like it was a little rigged, even though he wasn't even really like excited about it. What's up, Dustin? Tune in while I'm at work. What's up, boys? Let's make that money. Yes, sir. Let's go. Anthony Donatello Smith, because he turtles up. He does turtle up a lot. Hard to see how Anthony avoids getting bludgeoned. He'll be a real Homer Simpson indeed. Smith decision plus 800. I like the sub better, personally, and it's better priced.
Yeah.
That would be wild if that goes to decision. I think Ming Yang has only been to decision once out of like his 25 fights. So it also may not be his retirement fight due to some mental case, but I will remind you, he did barely beat a guy who broke into his house. Let's go, China. He said it's an MMA retirement. He would likely be opening some boxing matches or something else, like he said. 0.2 units on money line on Smith money line. I've won, lost a lot of Smith bets over the years, but I'm ready for one more loss. There you go.
I am ready for the loss. Yeah,
right. That's what I did last week. I threw a little bit of fun money on Darren Elkins. Yeah, it looked awful, but I gave it one last ride. I'll never do that again. Darren Elkins is my guy. He's a local guy. I had to do it. And not doing it again, I'll tell you that. I won some pretty good money on Darren Elkins back like a few of those fights before, but
Darren the Damage Elkins, yeah, of course. Yeah.
But we got the main event, the one fight that everyone's talking about and mostly torn on, but I've been seeing a lot of love on one side. Ian Garry versus Carlos Prates. Who do you like? Or who do you think's going to win? Let's put it that way. I know who everybody likes.
I might have two different answers. Yeah,
me too.
Yeah.
I totally have two different answers.
Yeah, I have two different answers. So who do I think is going to win? Yeah, man, this is such a tough one to call, right? So I'm probably edging towards Ian Garry, and it kind of comes down to like a couple of things. Like I'll ask you, like, who do you think is a better striker, like Prates or MVP? Different styles.
I know different styles. I think Prates definitely is more dangerous, but on orthodox, definitely Michael Page. So I'd probably lean MVP.
I kind of did too, which is why I kind of ended up leaning towards like Ian Garry. But Garry also had his chin checked a couple of times. He ended up winning that fight, but it's like, do you get that chance against Prates? It's hard to say. Fighting nerds are undefeated. Somebody has to take the first L. I feel like this is it. I think it's definitely.
Go ahead. I'll say it when I say it.
Yeah, like I don't know, right? Like I'm so like on the fence with this one, and the more I look at it, the more I give that edge to Ian Garry. But Prates is so dangerous. You just wonder what's going to happen once he gets into deep water, once it gets past the first, second round. I think the longer it goes, the more I give an advantage to Garry. And I think also like Garry is very good at sort of managing his gas tank too. So if he's winning the fight, I think he's probably winning by decision. But what's the money line right now? It's still pretty close, right?
Yeah, I think the last time I checked it was like Garry like -130. Let me look. Yeah, Garry -130.
Yeah, -130. Yeah, that's probably where I'm leaning on this one. I don't have a ton of confidence. Whatever the over/under is, I probably leaning towards the over as well. I see this being like a little bit of a slower pace.
It was set at 2.5. Now it's 3.5. So
interesting.
Take for that what you will.
Sounds like they agree with me. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of like where I'm leaning. But yeah, 2.5 did sound better than 3.5. Yeah, but this is such a coin flip to me. You asked like, who do I like versus who do I think is going to, I like Prates. Like, I'd be super stoked if he wins. He's got a good storyline going into this one too. Fight for a good cause. Did you see him like shaving that dude's head? Like catchphrase. Yeah, I will say also a lot of times when guys have these like feel good stories, that is also the kiss of death. Like the big one that stands out to me, Walt Harris fight. Remember? And he was winning that fight too. And just I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like extra pressure on them that they don't necessarily need. So that's
they put it on themselves just randomly. Right? You're like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, exactly. So that's another thing too. That's like a little funny, but like, from what I've seen, those feel good stories don't always feel so good at the end, So give me Garry, give me the over. I like Garry by decision. No, I don't like anything, but I'm leaning.
If you had to choose something.
If I had to choose something, I'm going Garry by decision.
Yeah. I'm the same with you. This was probably the toughest one before I misspoke, but this one when I did my video, I didn't even make a pick yet. That's how I'm like, I don't know. I'm just gonna make it a gut, and the gut told me Garry is gonna win. I could definitely see Prates winning 100%. Like early KO rounds 1, 2, 3, totally. But the longer the fight goes, the more confidence I'm going to have in Garry. What I keep going back to is also Prates hasn't seen round 3 since like 2019, so almost 6 years. Gary has fought a little bit better competition. Shavkat fight, he was
had his
able to
moments in that
survive.
fight.
He did.
Yeah.
And he also was able to survive 5 rounds against that killer. And Shavkat's never went to decision before, and he won by decision, but it was a pretty close fight. So I think he can survive for 25 minutes against Prates. Like, Prates is a dangerous dude. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not going to try to compare him to Shavkat. I mean, maybe Prates has a little bit better power in his hands, but Shavkat's a little bit more well-rounded dangerousness. But yeah, I just really think, and also Gary's striking defense. Yeah, he has been rocked a couple times against lower level competition, like in the UFC when he first came in. But that's an experience. That's a good experience to have. Like, he's got good recoverability, as we saw in those 2 fights. And if he gets rocked, maybe he can do the same thing again and he can survive. And maybe Prates kind of gasses himself out trying to go for the finish a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of assumptions that I'm making, and I think that's all you really can do. Gary's not a bum. I know people don't like Gary. Gary's not the most likable fighter, and I think a lot of people are maybe picking towards that, which I don't, it's a close fight either way, but maybe that's like the final straw of, I'm going to pick a Prates because Gary sucks. Like, I don't like him. But if you really just take that out of the equation, like, just on paper, don't look about their personalities. Like, I think Gary just wins, and he's kind of, he's a boring fighter, kind of. He can point fight, but you like the more exciting fighter like Prates, which I hope he wins too, which is why I said the same thing as you. But I just think Gary can give him a hard fight, and it's going to be a close. If it goes to decision, I would lean Gary decision, but the KO early for Prates, maybe even a late KO for Gary. We don't know what Prates looks like outside of round 3, 5-round fight.
Yeah,
so it's different. So I'm gonna lean Gary. I'm not betting this fight at all. I can't. I don't know what to do. I mean, if you're gonna give me Gary at plus money, I would maybe, but it wouldn't be tracked. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I could see so many things happening. Prates KO, I think, is plus 165. Gary KO plus 220. Gary submission is kind of sneaky, especially if Prates is starting to gas. I think that's plus 600 right now.
Okay. I wish it was a little bit more, because I can see Pereira submission more so than Gary, and Pereira's a little bit higher.
That's plus 800. Yeah,
I like that one better.
Yeah, like, so that's the thing. Like, there are spots here, but you gotta thread the needle perfectly in this one, because there's so many things, so many different outcomes. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do either. I'm kind of like, I keep talking myself out of it. I said I like the over, but now I'm like, well, you could get that Prates, KO early. You could get the Gary sub or TKO late, like around 3 or round 4. And man, if it was stuck at over 2.5, I would feel much better about that.
You could always do the alternate line. Let's see what is it real quick. It's still minus 175 for over 2.5. It's not too bad.
It's not that bad.
And I think that's where it was at when it was at minus 2.5, or maybe it was a little bit higher.
Interesting.
So
yeah, that might be the
too
move
bad
on this one. Yeah, you just got to sweat 2.5 rounds.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think I could do
that's
that.
That's a long 2.5.
Yes. Let's see what everyone else says, and we'll get to the bets real quick. Poor Smith. Anthony Smith is undefeated against crackheads. Is Ian cut? I did see like a little thing next to his eye. I don't know. I think he's always kind of had that, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure if he is. Like DC said, I'm not actually a crackhead. And Evan Elder beats short notice guy. Yeah, we are pretty high on that one. Gary by decision or protest by KO. I would go Gary decision. I got me some Gary at minus 110. There you go. I can get down on that. Even though I know it's not too crazy of a difference, but I feel way more comfortable. That 20 cents difference, I feel way more comfortable, but it's tough. Tom likes Prates. I don't blame you. Dirty Reg, Prates is too violent. He is, but if you can't get him out of there, that's what I'm worried about. That's the only thing. Gary's a little tough. Carlos and Gary over under 2.5. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. If you like Prates, you have to go under, right? And if you like Gary, you have to go over.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget. I mean, Prates does have 10 KO wins in a row, right? So
Yeah, he's got a lot.
I think it's 10 in a row. Like, you know, I might sprinkle that because I think it's still plus 165 right now.
He's gonna have to rock Gary though early. I just don't see him, like, the later the fight goes, I just don't see it happening. And even then, if he does rock him early, I don't know if he's gonna be able to get him out of there. You know what I mean? And if Jason is the ref, I mean, he's got that over. So
yeah.
Scotty Law says it's Gary. Just bet it. Stand at the window while he wrestle humps him for 24 minutes and cash your ticket. I can see that. Great matchmaking. Is this a title eliminator if PRATES wins? Also, where's Shafkat White? He was hurt, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, after the Gary fight or during the Gary fight or something. But I think he's coming back. I don't know when, but soon. But yeah, let's get to the easy money parlay. Like I said, do you like Evan Elder money line?
I love Evan Elder money line.
All right. So all we really need to get is something around minus 300 or less. Something else that we both love.
What's the Black Shear is more than that? I think that was like 4 something.
Yeah, minus 485. Let's see. Man, I'm confident in Edwards, but you're not that confident.
So also, like, I don't know how you feel about this, but the Randy Brown by decision was plus 100.
We could put that in the beer money parlay. I'm cool with that.
All right, put that aside.
Yeah.
That aside from there. And then the other one I liked for that was the Ikram KO minus 160.
Okay. We can get down with that. I'm cool with that too.
Okay. Let's see what else we got.
Randy Brown. Oh, okay. Dang. I was gonna say Randy Brown money line for the easy money is 258, and we can get about plus 106. But we'd have to not do the Randy Brown decision though.
Yeah. Okay. Do we like the Black Shear sub? It wasn't up on DraftKings last I checked.
Yeah, it's not on. Let me look on a couple other sites. I think
what about the over on the Gutierrez Castaneda fight? That was wait, no, that's 375. That's probably a little too high.
Yeah, we need like 300 or less.
So close.
I mean, if it's close to plus money, I'm okay with it. But 375, I believe it'll be like. Let me look here. I know we like a lot of the same stuff. What do you think of the under 2.5 in the Amorim Polyana fight?
I like it. I liked Amorim by sub, but I didn't see what the line was.
The under 2.5 is minus 250, and that'll make it plus 108 for the easy money.
That's not bad. The only other one, you said you did Randy Brown money line?
Yeah, Randy Brown money line, that would be like plus 106 if we did the easy money parlay.
If you do exact method of victory for the Randy Brown fight as decision, it gets it down to minus 200. Gives you a little protection on some weird.
Oh, like if the fight goes to decision or something? Okay.
Yeah.
So
just because Dalby's never been finished.
Do you okay? I see what you're saying.
So then it's like either fighter by decision in case you know.
Yeah. So plus it'd be plus 123 if we did that. Like fight goes to distance or whatever. You cool with that, or do you want to do like you think Brown money line? But I see your point. Like I don't think Brown's going to be able to finish him if we're both on.
Yeah, right. Like I didn't think so. Let me just check one more thing. I just wanted to see the. Oh, it's not up here. I was tempted to see what the Gutierrez Castaneda fight was for either by decision. See if that would come down a little bit because I think that's probably the most likely fight on this card to go to decision. But
yeah, definitely one of them for sure. I think Chandler and Edwards is another one, and then Brown and Dalby. Those are the three that I think goes to decision like 8 out of 10 times for sure. All of them.
Yeah, I think that Randy Brown to decision is pretty okay Because I'm just like looking back again. It's just like, yeah.
Or do you just want to
I
do
think
the
it's
over 2.5? It's minus 102. Just to be a little safe. We just need plus, like close to plus 100.
yeah. Yep.
Who knows?
I
Maybe
like
something crazy can happen.
Yeah, I like it.
Let's do that.
Cool.
So we'll do Elder money line plus over 2.5 rounds. Brown Dalby. And that's minus 102. You might be able to get a little bit better on a different sports book. I'm using DraftKings, but maybe FanDuel or Bet365 if you have that. They always have a little bit better odds than DraftKings sometimes. All right, that's the easy money parlay for the week, and let's do the beer money. You said you liked
Ikram by TKO for sure.
Yep. Well, let's put that in there for sure.
I think that's still minus 160.
Let's see where you at, Ikram. Yep, minus 160. Pereira sub is calling my name.
I'm not gonna lie. Full disclosure, I did take that in a couple of
No,
games,
I don't
actually.
blame you at all. I actually kind of like it, like I said.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's
what about? I mean, we're both on the under 2.5 in the Blackshear fight. That's plus 130.
Yeah,
you could throw
like
that in there.
I like that.
And let's do one more. Try to get the plus 1,000.
I like the.
It might be like a plus 200.
Yeah. I hate to double dip. It's not exactly double dip, but kind of like I was feeling Elder by sub or Elder by finish. Short notice opponent. I think it is plus money.
What about
I think if you do. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say. I think if you do KO or sub, it's still plus money. But it's not on DraftKings right now.
Yeah, I'm looking on DraftKings. Let me look on this other one here. See if I can get some odds. No, because everyone's slacking this week, man.
Yeah, it means it's hitting. That's why they don't want to give you the Blackshear sub, a Morum sub.
They're like a day late, right? Like,
yeah.
What is, just for shits and gigs?
Oh, you could do under 2.5 on the Elder fight. That's plus 175.
I was looking at that.
It's ludicrous.
What is, so that'll get us to, where are you at? There you are. So that'll get us to 927 on DraftKings.
Do you want to take the under on the Blackshear fight? That's plus 130.
Yeah, that's what I put in there. I put Ikram KO under 2.5 in Blackshear, and then under 2.5 in Elder fight.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's 927. That's on DraftKings though, but it could be a little bit better, like on FanDuel or something. I'm gonna look real quick. Man, FanDuel usually has better props. As soon as I said that, shit, FanDuel doesn't even have all the fights out.
Oh, weird.
Oh, here it is. Never mind. Yeah, they didn't even have the over-unders yet for Blackshear or Elder.
You could do the under on the Michelle Fajeda fight. It's
1.5
plus money.
or 2.5.
That's what I was going to ask you. I didn't want to be the one to make the call. Because it is like, I mean, plus money at 1.5 is interesting. 2.5 is plus money. Over 2, or no, it's not. Minus 145. It's pretty close. So I might like that. Minus 2.5 in that fight. Minus 145.
For what?
The Michelle Fajeda fight. Sorry, under 2.5. And minus, that'll get you to like closer, maybe minus 12 or plus 1,200, plus 1,300, something like that.
I'm trying to think. I really wish. What is the?
Yeah, Blackshear sub is the one that I would definitely want to put there.
Sheesh. That ain't gonna do anything.
Oh,
I was looking at something else, not what you said.
okay. You got the under 1.5 in the Matt Schnell, Jimmy Floyd.
That's the fight I was like literally looking at.
Yeah, under 1.5 is -125. Under 2.5 is -245.
Schnell by KO is +160.
That is ludicrous, my friend. even though that is my pick too.
We could do Pereira inside the distance.
I like.
We both think Pereira is gonna win.
Yeah, we do. We sure do.
Let's see what that'll give us if we switch it out. I think that was like +150.
Okay.
So okay, so we got 4 different things to do. We got Ikram by KO, which we both really like. We got the under 2.5 and the Blackshear fight, which we both really like. And then we either got Pereira inside the distance or we got the under 2.5 in the Elder fight.
I think the Elder one is kind of a layup because it's such short notice. Because even if it wasn't short notice, I like that pick.
It's tough.
It's tough because I think the Fajita fight is kind of, I mean, it's a coin flip that he'll win it all, but if he wins, it would probably be by finish.
Okay. I agree. But we're like covering a little bit more with the under 2.5 in the other fight. And it's a little bit better price too.
I'd probably lean in that direction. Yeah, it's +175. That's probably where I would lean.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's do that. And then I'll just have to fiddle with whatever sports book that I can get the best odds. But I'll put it in the chat. So
I like it.
Ikram KO plus under 2.5. Blackshear. Haley plus under 2.5 Elder Young. And then DraftKings has it at 924, but I'm almost positive you can probably get that a little bit better at FanDuel when all the things come out, or you can get it like Bet365 even. DraftKings with props aren't the greatest, but they have pretty good money lines if you catch it at the right time.
Yeah. Ooh,
but all right, guys, those are the bets that we're going to roll with. We're going to make it 3 weeks in a row for the beer money, 4 weeks for the easy money parlay. I know the easy money is going to hit easily. This one, I think it hits. I mean, it's not going to be an easy one, but I think it hits. It's not supposed to be easy at +1,000. So
we're just going to make it look easy. That's all.
Exactly. But before we get going, let everybody know what you got going on, where they can find you and stuff.
Oh yeah, just I'm on the Insta thing. What's it called? Instagram. The Instagram. I got my personal stuff is all at Dr. Sarowitz. And we were talking before. I have a trading card page called Hobby Monsters. A little bit of everything, but it's a lot of UFC stuff. So we were talking about doing a giveaway if y'all will follow me over there. I am giving away. Let me see if I have it. Hold on. It's a fighter who is currently dead to me, but maybe he's alive and well to you guys. We have Michael Chandler, select patch out of 49. Pretty dope card. Too bad it is a card of someone I hate so much. No, I love Michael Chandler. I want to go on record. I like Michael Chandler as a person. He just ruined my life 2 weeks ago. So he is. We're parting ways, not on good terms.
But yeah, those links are below in the description for his personal one and also Hobby Monster. So definitely check out Hobby Monster, though. He puts out a lot of cool content, all the cool hits that he gets from opening packs. I'm jealous of how much you open.
You mean what a degenerate I am? Yes,
I am jealous, though, because I want to be doing that. But yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that giveaway too. He'll probably post it on
Thanks.
Hobby Monsters. That way you can win that for free though. But yeah, good luck to everybody with their picks and their bets. I think this is a great card for watching, great card for betting as well. We just gave you a ton of bets, and like I said, I probably can throw out 15 to 20 bets that I like, but I'm only gonna probably do 7, maybe 8 if I'm convinced. But I probably 7 because I like odd numbers for some reason. But you have anything else before we get going?
No, I think we're good. I feel good about this card. I think there are some really good matchups, and the thing I keep telling myself in all my notes is just don't overthink it. Don't overthink this.
Go with your gut. I always say
Yeah.
that. Go with your gut.
Yeah.
If your gut, like, don't like what your first initial reaction or pick is, like, that's usually the right one. Like, don't overthink it, and then you change your pick or whatever, you change a bet, and you're like, should have just stuck with my initial one. Because if you lose your initial one, you're like, well, I'll learn from next time. That's all you gotta do. And then you're never mad at yourself.
Exactly.
I learned that the hard way.
Yep.
All right, guys. Take care. We'll see you next time. See you next week. And good luck. Take care.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.